Hey, my beautiful people. I hope everybody's having a great day. I was just wanting to check in on everyone and see how everyone was doing today and hoping that, everyone just was blessed beyond measure today and with peace and love. And, I've just noticed that a lot of things, have been changing for me even more so than normal. And I just want to share with people, when you go through that moment, that Hannah moment in life, where you see that your sorrows have when you turn your sorrows into seeds. Um, I have, of course, everyone knows I've been a widow for almost 6 years, and that was a very, very hard process for myself, for me to go through, and the lessons I've learned since that journey ended um, have really like awakened me in so many ways on a spiritual level. Um, Looking back, at the past and all the experiences I've had to go through and all the crazy situations that have presented themselves, and looking back and seeing how I handled them and just persevered through a lot of things that a lot of adversity, a lot of things were against me, and if it wasn't for faith, my love in God, trusting Him, then I wouldn't be here today to tell you that anything is possible. Anything is possible. You have to go through your breaking point, get to your breaking point in order for you to have your breakthrough. And sometimes a lot of us look at breaking points as a bad thing, and me myself, I look at it as the best thing that could have ever happened. I get, people that have known me for years, they'll look at me like, my God, you look so different. I tell them it's God, it's nothing but God, that walked me through, that helped me through, that aided me through all these different circumstances that, I didn't think that it was possible for me to get through them. The strength that I hold now is so much more powerful than ever, and the strength that I, especially in my mind, the way I think now, is so much more uplifting to others. You can't teach other people, how to react to things. Well, you can teach them how to react to things. They're not gonna, they may not actually follow through with what you tell them, but at least you plant the seed, and they can either choose to take that seed and water it and watch it grow, or they can just discard it and say, what, this won't work for me. But I can tell you that the one thing that worked for me was just getting into the Word of God and really looking at all the different situations that came about and how those things were just worked out through the people that had faith in Him, And I say Hannah moment because I listen to Sarah Jakes a lot. Sarah Jakes Roberts is one of my favorite people to listen to, and just to see that she was a teen mom and all the things she had gone through, and she felt like being in ministry wasn't her calling at the time, because here was, she had all these obstacles, all these bad things that she said that she had done, and she felt like, okay, you know what, I'm not the type of person that should be telling anyone how they should do things differently. Look at what I've done. But then she had her Hannah moment, and she was like, you know what, all these circumstances, all these situations that I went through, I had to go through them in order for me to teach someone else how to get through them. And my only weapon that was used in this whole process was God. And He enlightens you and He brings you to a peaceful place. And I can't emphasize that enough to people, that the smile you see on my face now was not on my face years ago. And if it was, it wasn't genuine, because there was a lot of clutter and dirt and anger and all these different things that were just clouding that smile to where it can be bright as it is right now. And I have been through such a process and still continue going through the process of just every day internally decluttering myself. Um, I affirm every morning, that when I wake up in the morning, I thank God first, and then my affirmations are always looking in the mirror and telling myself I'm beautiful and that I'm going to have a great day, and, to smile even when I don't feel like smiling, and eventually becomes a habit, just smiling on a regular basis. Even when things are going, not as planned. You're just smiling through it, and eventually you'll see the reasons for smiling, and they become genuine and authentic. And just walking through this and being able to tell you that there is nothing that you are experiencing right now that doesn't have a purpose behind it. Everything is purpose driven. It may not feel like that while you're in that moment and in that storm, but everything in life is purpose driven. And it's up to you to find that drive. And that main drive that will get you to your purpose, people, is God Himself. Jesus Christ will get you to your purpose. Asking, you shall receive. I say that to myself all the time. I speak to God about all the things that, I want to accomplish. But I also tell God that if that's not something that He deems fit for me to accomplish, then He will put exactly what it is that He wants me to accomplish in front of me. And some of the time, we don't see our gifts. And a lot of us think that, oh, maybe I don't have a gift. Maybe there's not something that I'm supposed to be doing. But I'm here to tell you that there's always something that you're supposed to be doing. And if you tap into that energy and you tap into that God energy and that and really start to ask those questions of God, what is it? He will lead you. He will put you in the path that He had planned from you from the beginning. And when He does that, nothing will be able to stop you from getting to where you need to be, where you're supposed to be. So if you walk in that kind of faith and you walk in that kind of belief and understanding that there is something higher that you're supposed to be doing. I never thought that I would be a person that would get on YouTube and speak to people about my personal experiences, and I'm not looking for 50,000 viewers and, I'm just looking if I could touch one or two people with my experience, because there may be some kind of correlation between my experience and someone else's experience, and that's usually how it is in this world. You're not the only one that's going through things. You're not the only one that has been through certain situations. It may not have been in the same order as someone else's, but everyone has something that is a similarity to someone else's story. And sometimes the only difference is how you overcame yours versus how they're getting ready to overcome theirs. And so if you don't share what your experience is and how you overcame, then how are you helping? You have to be able to help. Sometimes your help may just come in the form of prayer for someone else. And because they're in their weakest moment and they don't know what to say, they may not feel like they want to pray. They may have lost their faith in God. And your one prayer could make that situation in their life change so drastically. And it could also bring them to God, because they'll remember, that person prayed for me and they prayed to God for me. And He answered that prayer through them. And many people have done it for me, where they've prayed for me to find my faith, find my strength, see my beauty, embrace my weaknesses, embrace my strengths. And here I am today, embracing all of it with no fear, with no question in my mind that I had to walk through all of the things that I've gone through. I said to everybody last week, like the release that I had opened up so many things for me, so many things that were blocked. And when we walk around with a lot of blocks in our lives and we wonder why things are not coming to us the way they're supposed to, it's because you're blocked. It's like closing the door on something and expecting it to come through that door. It can't do that. You have to open the door in order for it to come through. So if you are a person right now that is living with many blocks, fear, anger, resentment towards people, unforgiveness, those things are blocks. Remove them so that you can walk into your divine purpose. Remove anything that is stopping you and hindering you from being the best you that you can be. And that was the only message I wanted to get across today, because I want to see everyone prosper. I want to see everyone smiling. I want to see everyone happy to be alive every day and to enjoy their families and enjoy their children and pray with their children, pray with your husbands and wives. And just know that, trust that God is working everything out for you. There's nothing too big for Him. And so if you walk with that in your life and you walk with that in your heart every day, he can do nothing else but bless you. He can do nothing else but bless you. I use my devotionals every day. I read them. I write my little notes, and I just kind of get myself through a day, because sometimes my days are not as easy as the other days were. But when those hard days come about, I know I have some serious armor on me. And I know that I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. And I know that anything that tries to come to me, there is a complete block from the Lord above that says, you know what? Don't touch her. That's mine right there. And so when I walk like that every day and I feel that every day, the enemy could try, and they're gonna try. You just have to be prepared. So I say, get up in the morning, pray to God, ask Him for the strength to get through a day, that one day. Don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today, the minute that you're in, the moment that you're in, the second that you're in. Worry about those things, what you can do in that one day. Because tomorrow's going to bring its own other issues, and tomorrow has a whole new set of things that you're going to have to tackle. So worry about the present. And the past is the past, so let it be the past. Don't bring it into your present. If it didn't benefit you, then don't bring it into your present. If it was a benefit to you, then you, of course, it's like transferable skills. You just continue to use it. So I just want to leave you guys with that tonight. I love you, and I'm so happy to, be out here just doing this for everyone, anyone that needs to hear it. I hope that I'm, helping you through whatever process it is that you're going through. And there's always going to be more to come. And just trust God, everybody. Trust the process, as I always say, because the process is real. And I love y'all, and you have a great night. Thank you. Bye-bye.